Because we take this job so serious.
The f*** is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
So my wife decided to spoil me with this, my 49ers street sign, and this picture representing the team that I have loved since 1981. And my daughter, Cheyenne, of course, as y'all know, spoiled me with this. I've been showing this the entire show so far on this Wednesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. And this portion is brought to you by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Now, why did I show you all that 49ers stuff? Because the guest that I have for you to complete hour one wore the double nickel for the San Francisco 49ers. And in case you don't know, I'm a 40. Look, bang, bang, Niner game till I go 6 feet under. Okay? My wife teases me all the time, but she was right on the edge of her seat watching the Super Bowl right along with me. Out of Vanderbilt, former 49er linebacker, number 55, Jamie Winborn. And that background right there is what I want in my office. Bang, bang, Niner gang, baby. How are you?
I'm all right, baby. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling great. Cancer got kicked in the ass. My latest injury is going to get kicked in the ass also. And you told me, you really encouraged me when I disclosed that I had pancreatic cancer. Mm-hmm. And he said, just strap on the helmet and fight it. Well, I'm still here. I wasn't supposed to make it to 50. I'm going to be 52 in July, alive and kicking, man.
Hey, that's what we like to hear. Positivity. You just got to keep that positive mind, baby.
Super Bowl Sunday. No, let me take you back a couple weeks before that when we played the Green Bay Packers. Jody came into my office and says, "Are you ready for this?" I said, "Jordan Love scares me." And she says, "Why?" Because Jordan Love reminds me of Brock Purdy. And she goes, "Oh boy." Then when they grabbed the lead, when Green Bay grabbed the lead, we get a field goal, and then Green Bay misses a field goal. This pretty lady peeks around here and goes, "Now it's time for y'all to win the game." And she went to bed because she had to drive the next day. Mm-hmm. I swear I came in the room and I said, "Honey, I hope I didn't frighten the daylights out of you or wake y'all up with all the screaming that I was doing." She says, "I passed out. Okay, you don't have to worry about that." Then came the following Sunday. She watched it in the other room while I was here on the live stream, the 49ers and the Lions. I said, "Look, Lions are just kicking our tail." My friend Victor, who hung out with me on the live stream, said, "Don't give up yet. This is your team. Don't give up yet." I took a break. I came back and I said, "You know what? He's right." And then the third quarter happened. The third quarter happened. Not only did I lose my voice, I lost my mind when that 17-point barrage happened in 4 minutes. And it all began with the ricochet by the Bay. Thank you, Brandon Ayuk. Yeah. What did you, when you saw that miracle catch by Brandon Ayuk, what did you think? What went through your mind when you saw that?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. At that point, I didn't really have a doubt in my mind that we were gonna come back out. The guys were gonna come out and play a different style of football than they played the first half. It wasn't no doubt about it. But when he did that, honestly, I really felt in my heart like, this is our year, man. Because in order to get to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, you have to have 8-9 of those type of plays go in your favor, and it's been happening for some. So I was excited about it. My mind went, okay, we're gonna beat these guys because I know we can beat them. I'm all the way on to the Super Bowl. Like, yo, we going to the Super Bowl. Honestly, that's how I felt about it.
Man, I can tell you the Super Bowl was the longest day for me physically because we had so much to do. My wife was cooking, my daughter was running around. My other daughter Cheyenne called me and wished me good luck and everything. And Jody said, "What do you want for your main Super Bowl snack?" And I said, "Let's do what we did 4 years ago. I want some meatballs." She said, "Coming up." And she made me some turkey meatballs, man.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah,
you got to have your super when it's your team in the Super Bowl, you have your superstitions. Good
yes.
Lord, I have mine.
Yes. And thank God you got a beautiful wife there that's supporting and she's on board.
Yep.
Whatever you need, hey, I'm gonna make it.
And that's what she said, "What else do you want?" I said, Can you make your famous cheese balls?" She said, "Done." I didn't even have to ask. She said, I said, "I want some veggies because I got to make sure I get the veggies. I want a cheese ball, some dip." And she brought me a bunch of celery sticks and some carrot sticks with ranch dressing.
Nice.
She said the meatballs will come. The meatballs will come before kickoff. I said, "All right." So when the Niners get introduced, that's when I get presented with a plate of meatballs.
Oh wow. She got you hooked up, man. She got you hooked up on schedule and everything.
Jody hooked me up the entire weekend.
Good job, Jody.
She hooked me up the entire weekend. And even though we didn't win, when the game ended, 3 seconds left in the first overtime, I'm sitting there. Look, y'all, anyone who watched that live stream, and I had 1,000 people watching, I'm shaking in this chair the entire time.
Listen, I honestly can tell it. I told everybody, man, that was a game.
Yes.
I mean, I was up, I was down, I was hype, I was talking noise, I was quiet for a minute. You know, I had all the different emotions throughout the game, and all the way down into the end. And it's like, wow, like, you know, I'm honestly, I was crushed, man. I was really crushed about it, but I was proud of the guys. I was proud of them. I thought they did a great job. Unfortunately,
I know when I'm going to say prematurely, I will meet you in New Orleans when we go back next year, man.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the first things. Not only did Jody say it, my daughter, who isn't a sports fan at all, said, "Get him next year." Jody said, "Just get ready for New Orleans." But man, when you're sitting on the edge of your seat watching your team just fight their ass off for the entirety of the game. Look, you can pick all the X's and O's apart. Yeah. But when I got done with that live stream and that game, I was worn out. Because I only planned a half hour post game show. Man, we were talking another 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it was that type of game, that type of excitement. I mean, it was honestly, it was everything you could ask for in a football game. If I got to save my money up to pay to watch something or to go to a particular game, I wanted to be like that, you know. All the way down to the last second.
To the last few seconds.
Yes, I was satisfied with the level of competition.
I was so look, the late great Jack Buck said it best, and that's both times we played Kansas City. Pardon me while I stand up and applaud. And I also said we will see y'all next year in New Orleans. And I got two of my dear friends who are Chiefs fans, and one is a Chief insider. He called me the next day. He didn't gloat or anything like that. And he just simply asked me, "You want to run it back again down in the Superdome?"
Of course we do. Of course we do.
Because I don't think anybody can touch Frisco in the NFC, man. Our biggest competitor is the Detroit Lions, and we already beat them.
Yeah, I think they'll compete, man. You know, the Lions, you know, they came out. To be honest with you, I knew about the kid Gibbs. I knew he was special. Yeah, I knew they were physical. Defense plays well. You know, everybody's going to be up for the playoffs, man. That's just the bottom line. It's the playoffs. The players know what time it is. I expect them to be a contender next year.
Yes.
I'm a realistic type of guy. It's not going to be easy.
No.
Getting back, because with this free agency and stuff like that, I'm curious to see where we're going to take a loss at, because it's got to come at somewhere.
Right.
But I do think we still have all of the tools in place to make another run for it, definitely.
Your thoughts on the 49ers hiring Nick Sorensen as their defensive coordinator?
Well, I only know Nick necessarily from, I actually, when I was traded from the 49ers, I was traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? And this is crazy. I truly believe I was put on injured reserve out of kind of spite, because I ended up hurting Nick Sorensen, right?
Right.
He was on special teams. We were chasing Pac-Man Jones down in Tennessee. I missed the tackle on Pac-Man, which is one of my dudes. I end up leg whipping Sorensen, and he gets hurt and out for the season. So it wasn't shortly after that I had like a mild bone bruise or whatever. And then next thing I know, my trainer's calling me. He's like, "Where you at?" I was like, "Dude, you don't know I'm on injured reserve." He's like, "What? How are you on injured reserve? I'm the head trainer." I was like, "Call upstairs." He calls upstairs and he's like, "Well, I guess you're right." I said, "Yeah, okay." But that's the story I know about Nick. But as far as a player, he was awesome teammate, loves the game. I think he spent some time in Seattle as well.
Yeah.
I think he's going to give the guys a good run for their money out there. He's a players type coach. He knows what he's doing. I think it's a good hire. What I think John Lynch has done is they kind of missed a little bit of that player defensive coordinator type guy in D'Amico, right? So you bring another guy in, with younger guy with some experience. There you go, Sorensen, and he knows defense. That's what he played. He could play, and he knows the game, man. And I think that he will be really good with the guys on the sideline, or locker room, all of that, because it does come down to some element of how a team gels. Guys love D'Amico to death. I mean, they're not saying they didn't love Wilkes. Let's get this straight.
Right.
You don't make you make it to the Super Bowl and then you lose your job. Right? And your defense actually played very, very well. That was the best your defensive line had played in the whole playoffs. So it wasn't a matter of that, but it is the NFL, and they make changes sometimes and that's just what it is. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything bad about Wilkes. I think he did a phenomenal job. How can you contest the job that he did when he got us to the Super Bowl?
Yes, absolutely.
However, business-wise, things happen, and we're moving forward. And I think Sorensen will give us a good go. Just like any team at the beginning of the year, it remains to be seen.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see exactly what he actually does,
True. I've asked a couple of former 49ers this, and I've asked a whole lot of 49er fans this question. Speaking of San Francisco, why isn't Roger Craig in the Hall of Fame?
Man, you know what? Listen, this is crazy, right? So we were talking, I think it was me and Julian Peterson was talking just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about how, the difference in younger guys and the older guys and this and that. And he was like, he was listening to some interview or some kid was doing, and the guy was like, he didn't really know who Roger Craig was. And he didn't know, if he was any good or anything about it. And I was like, Jules, we're old now. Some of these kids may not have been born at all while we were playing. And Craig's before that, just like some guys may not remember who I am, or, some of the guys, I played I want to say 20 years ago. I don't know. I mean, 2001, what is that? 23 years ago.
Yep.
When I went to the Niners. So no big deal.
Right.
But yeah, man, Roger Craig was a monster, man. I mean, that's a legend. He's a 49er legend without a doubt. When I think of 49ers, honestly, other than Chris McCaffrey, how he is now today, when you think back, 49er, running back,
Roger Craig.
Roger Craig.
Roger Craig.
I mean, come on. I mean, there's some great backs, of course. Other backs, Garrison's a lot of guys, right?
Harrison Hurst, Ricky Waters. I mean,
but those guys come after
Roger Craig.
Roger Craig.
They come after Roger Craig, and a lot of people don't realize Roger Craig was a fullback when he was drafted.
Yep.
But when Tom Rathman showed up, Bill Walsh made one quick move and said, "Rathman, you're blocking. Craig, you're running."
Exactly. Bill Walsh.
The godfather of the West Coast offense, the late great Bill Walsh.
Yes.
All right. So what have you been up to, man? What since the last time I had you on, what have you been up to?
Really, man, just really just traveling around, speaking to schools, just trying to do a lot of mentorship, man. Because that helps me with my mental, and it helps me give back, and I find that that's what makes me feel good. You know what I mean? That's what makes me feel good. I'm 40. I'm getting ready to be 45 in May, and just looking back at it and how things have transpired. Coming from a country town and all that, going to Vanderbilt, playing in the SEC, getting drafted to the 49ers, being able to play for 10 years, and just the ups and downs, then going into cancer. I've just been through so much that, I'm just finally becoming a person that's just kind of like, I'm just at peace with just, enjoying life and enjoying each day and helping people with their struggles in their life, helping people understand that it's going to be okay.
So which cancer tried to get you and you fended it off?
Colon cancer.
Oh,
yeah. Colon cancer. Yes. I had so I did the treatments. I did like 25 treatments of radiation, really cooked my behind off. I used to be stacked back there, I think, until I had the radiation.
Oh my God.
I lost it all. And of course I lost that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And but I made it out of that, and then I had to have surgery. I had a colostomy bag, I'm sorry, for 6 months while I went through my chemo treatments, the 4 or 5 hour chemo treatments.
Oh boy.
Then I'd wear the chemo pack through my port, pumping it into me for 48 hours, had to be back at the hospital in 48 hours to cleanse it and all of that good stuff. Yeah. But by the grace of God, it was the colostomy bag was able to be removed. And so that was a journey, man. That was definitely the hardest thing I think I've ever been through in my entire life.
I get it, man. I get it. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer tried to get me, and Jody said this is the hardest decision I've ever made. I'll ever have to make. We have to move from North Carolina back to Indiana because I had to get some more help from family.
Yeah.
And then one quick call to St. Francis or the Franciscan Health, I beg your pardon, which led to another call to IU Med Center. And the next thing I know, 2 years ago, April, I'm having the cancer removed. And it's so crazy to think it was 2 years ago. And it was a year ago last month when I was told I was in remission.
Yeah.
Because we went into Dr. Raghunath's office, my wife and I, and we said we're waiting till our anniversary date, which was April 4th, to find out if we're in remission or not. When he said the remission's already started, we both looked at him and went, "What?"
Yeah.
I said, "Could you say that again?" He said, "The remission's already started." I have 2 left feet, okay? I admit to the fact that I can't dance worth a lick, but when I tell you my wife and I danced out of that offense and celebrated like we had just scored the game winner.
Yes. that is a Super Bowl win.
That's a Super Bowl win, and I'm celebrating every Super Bowl that I can with you, with Lee Woodall and whoever comes
Yes.
on the show. This is Jamie Winborn, and with the draft coming, I'd love to have you back before the draft to talk about your draft experience and everything. We just talked 49ers here because we've been talking football all morning, but man, I love you, brother, so much. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. And as I said, when the draft approaches, I'd love to have you back.
Hey, absolutely, man. Hey, one love, brother, and keep it up, man. The fight continues.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Stay blessed. Stay
And
blessed.
bang, bang, Niner gang. God bless you.